if you were familiar with what is going on in Howard Beach, you wouldn't be so apt to condemn the people there and to paint with a broad brush. I think that's just as much stereotyping as is going on elsewhere.
Mr. Barry Farr, you live near Howard Beach.
That's correct.
And you essentially agree with Mr. Russo.
Yes, I'm president of the Rochdale Black Cultural Society, which is a group organization trying to benefit to help the blacks in the Rochdale Village area in Queens. And we've been going to Howard Beach for fishing, we've been going there shopping, and in my personal experience, I have never seen any of the racism that was reported. We all have young people in all of our communities, and young people, as we find in the past, tend to go overboard on any given situation. Yes, there may have been some people there that were criminal elements, but we have crime throughout the New York City area.
But these were not criminals.
This was a crime that was committed.
But it wasn't committed by people who were criminals.
Still, it was young people that committed
criminals
a crime.
now, but
they're criminals now. One of the boys that were involved in this had a record before. Matter of fact, he was put in jail.
Why do you think no blacks live in Howard Beach?
There are blacks that live in Howard Beach.
2, 1,
there are
3.
There are blacks that live in Howard Beach.
Reverend Williams, you are set upon by some by saying now that the struggle has moved from the streets to the suites, and you are now resurrecting the streets. What do you say to that?
Well, it's like my friend, what's your name? You know, he think he is in the suite because white folks got good and opened the door. No. Yeah. They kept telling me, you old battle-fatigued gentleman, it's time to move from the streets to the suite. There'll be no suite if there's no streets. And you got to understand, white folks didn't just get good. I'm telling you, at Harvard Beach, even the rabbi talking. Why did the rabbi talk before they lynched that black man at Harvard Beach? They still ain't lynched no white folks at Harvard Beach.
Racism is a problem that permeates the society, but how do you address the issue when you have blacks turn on Hispanics and say Howard Beach, and yet we're third world people, and yet racism is being turned around and played in reverse, not only against whites on Hispanics, but blacks on Hispanics? How do you deal with that issue?
Because they always pit the poor of the minorities against one another, while the rich rob them all. I don't know if any Hispanics have stood side by side with blacks to fight racism. How you think we gonna stand by you?